Hello, hello, hello there, and welcome in to our Sisters Keeper, the Tyler Perry Sisters live unofficial after show and video podcast hosted by your good sis you let her talk TV with. And
Your girl Allie Nick giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time.
hmm and y'all, this one is going to be, I think, a very interesting, but mostly like a fun conversation. This is going to be an episode that we just really get to pontificate on some of the corners of the sisters universe that don't get enough shine. We're talking about the supporting characters within this world, some that deserve much more and are very much so given unsung heroes. Ellie, how you feel about that? Like, are you excited?
I'm excited, and that was the perfect introduction, the perfect description to give. There are some people on this list that deserve way more camera time than what they get. Y'all already know who we talking about. No need to say
Period.
Aaron's name.
Mm.
And then there are some people, and then there are some people who, just they haven't flushed them out all the way, but they could be given a little bit more time. And then the time that we're given with some, they give us too much without giving us enough.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're
Mhm.
really just going to
Mhm.
unpack that. At any given point, jump into the chat if you are joining us live or in the comments if you're catching this on replay and let us know, one, what you think about the characters that we're talking about in a moment, or if we missed something or someone. Go ahead and call it out. Now, first and foremost, Allie, we're going to go ahead to Mr. Carter because he is quite literally the personification of pretty much everything positive in the Sisters universe, but definitely the personification of unsung hero. Mm.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Why
Aaron
y'all do our
Carter.
baby like that? Why y'all do him like that? I be wanting to get into that. They call it the soft girl era or whatever the era is. Like, why y'all doing that? Why y'all do him so
Why? He's right
dirty?
there. Like it feels like at this point it is harder for y'all to give him the least amount of things to do, the least amount of minutes than it would be to just include him. All of the character development is there. All of the potential storylines are there. Like, it is right there. You have to break your neck to ignore this man. Stop.
That's the thing. You have to work harder not to, and it almost feels like it's done purposely because you have to go through so much not to include this very important man in this very important storyline, and you really give him like 13.5 seconds. I am exaggerating on the lesser side, but y'all don't get that man no camera time.
He
And
gets
he
60
deserves
minutes
all the time.
max. I mean, 60 seconds
Lit-
max. And that be combined throughout the
Literally,
whole episode.
the entire episode.
And he
We
only
clocked
get
y'all. We clocked y'all.
every 4 to 5 business episodes. Because he don't even get every episode at that. So it's not even 60 seconds every episode.
That was a great description. Every 45 business days. That's exactly what y'all give.
Let's
Because it
talk.
takes 4 to 5 episodes for a day. So
Hello.
that's exactly what I can give.
Hello. Let's talk about his character development, though, Allie, and what contributions we're missing by getting such few moments of content with him.
I'm gonna just say for me, just starting with season 8. I mean, we can go further back, but just what I'm thinking about right now with season 8. I was talking to my mom about this earlier. We were talking about sisters, and I immediately thought about the baby shower episode. For that to be such a prominent moment in Aaron's life, to experience his first child, showing everybody that he's having a girl. We saw him there. He didn't have many lines in that episode, and then he disappeared. And as you stated, we didn't see him again to another 4 to 5 business days. I'm like, how y'all have this man leave the baby shower before all the action take place with Gary, and we do not see him again? He doesn't call to check on Karen. So just something as small as that, someone who's so excited and wanted to be a father, and they really have not shown Aaron in a way of really enjoying that journey and that experience with Karen. So it's like just developing I believe just as women have natural instincts, and when it comes to be a mom, there's a certain thing that kicks in with Aaron. We've seen it, but they've done it on such a small scale that when he is on screen, they try to put so much of it
Yeah.
into the moment that he's in. And I'm like, come on, like let's see the develop him in that way. He's going to be a father. He's excited. It don't matter if the child is his or not. He's going to raise Zach's child just like he's going to raise his. But that's just one of the things I thought about when it came to the lack of development when it comes to Aaron being portrayed as a father.
Yeah, I think his relationship with Karen for sure and its evolution is a blaring space of like y'all are giving us literally the bare minimum, especially when we look over to that stupid ass duplex and we're just over there watching people eat Zacos. Like these minutes
Yeah.
could have been used elsewhere. But even aside from like seeing Aaron with Karen, right? We could have also got moments of him by himself, which would have reinforced like him being intentional about giving Karen the space that she asked for, but still being very much so present and excited about the baby. What does it look like over at his house? Why have we not seen his house yet? We've definitely had a couple of moments in seeing him at work or at his desk at his office, but not wanting to put him in a scene with Karen, or the us being in the season of Karen don't want to see him, is not an excuse for us to not see him, because there is so much that they could have added for his character development that would have made what we saw even better once we got to see it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think about another thing too, as you stated, just because Karen didn't want to see him doesn't mean the audience wasn't deserving of a story with Aaron outside of Karen. Because I think about the fact that, Aaron struggles with alcoholism. What does that look like now that he's going to be responsible for a child? Because when you get upset or you get angry, we have seen him quite a few times run to the bottle. You can't do that now. You're responsible for a whole life. So is Aaron going to the meetings? Is he back, trying to, not flesh out, but talk about what drives him when he can't effectively communicate, or he is in a place where he feels like the woman that I want is not returning the affections that I want. So the easier thing for me is to just drink those feelings away. Well, you can't do that now. Is he back in the church? Is he back in the ministry? Is he back leading the men's group? What's going on with Aaron outside of him kind of waiting? I'm not gonna say waiting, but in preparation for this child to be born. What is
Yeah.
going on with this man? Hell, has he been dating another woman? Has
Yep.
he been showing interest in anyone? Because there's so many things that we don't know about Aaron outside of the time that he's been away from Karen, that I believe it was just a huge ball that was dropped when it came to Aaron the person,
And it was
because he's
been
just too
consistently
important of a
dropped, because
character.
that was season 8. But then we go back to
Hmm.
season 7, and then Jennifer pops up and hollering out John, and we have no damn context, because we could have seen he started dating because he was so frustrated, or whatever the hell the case might have been. Like, people still have answers to this day and are still like holding that against Aaron to this day, and y'all just opted not to explain. Like, how the hell that worked?
Yeah,
This is
and
one
that
thing
was
that
such a
we.
huge moment.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. That was such a huge when you brought that up, because I just thought about that was such a profound moment in the Karen and Aaron's story, because this woman pops up. Karen is pissed. She's hurt because, hey, you ain't tell me about this girl, and you ain't tell this girl about me. How much of an importance am I to you and in your life? And now that this girl is here, you know what, Aaron? I'm cool on you, dude. I don't even want to deal with you no more. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, you don't want to talk about it? I'll talk to you about it when I'm ready. So obviously she was never ready, because we never saw a conversation between these two people. So like you said, they presented this and then just dropped the ball with it, because we didn't hear no more about Jennifer, no more about John. It's just unfortunately a drop ball.
Yeah, and when I say that Aaron is an unsung hero in this show, y'all, I really mean it. Not only in the things that we can tangibly reach to and like are just clear like dunks, but also when you think about the potential of the character, and to our point of like seeing him outside of Karen, there could be 2 seasons where they don't actually be in a scene together. But he could have helped so many other characters. They linked him to Gary, and then now all of a sudden he's not linked to Gary. That's one thing. But I'm even thinking about giving Fatima even more meaningful things to do. And had they actually had them connect as the two co-parents that's trying to make sense of this, and have Fatima go down that road versus, oh, I want to be super jealous and I want to have sense now, but I don't want to have sense here, and I want to storm into her house now. Like, Aaron could have been a great resource for the Fatima character as they both process walking into co-parenting together, as the two people that are tied to these two people that had the whole back and forth, that had this whole little messy thing. And I would have been down for that. Like, I feel like that would have grounded the Fatima character way more. And I feel like that would have just added to the story for both of them, fleshing out the whole love triangle / square and making it not so damn trite.
Yes, I would have paid money. You know, I had so many before I really knew what I was getting into with Tyler Perry's writing. I really had high hopes that that would be a scenario that actually played out. That
Fatima and Aaron becoming
Fatima and
friends
Aaron
in the
would,
way.
yeah, like they would connect in a way where because both of them are dealing with ex lovers, they're bringing a child into the world. They both fell in love with these people. How, first of all, how do we fit in this equation? How do we process the possibilities of what can happen? And also because Karen and Zach are the ones that have like that fire type of dynamic at times, and always looked at Fatima and Aaron could be like the cool, calm, and collected
Yep.
ones that could will them back in, like, hey, you know, baby, I hear what Zach is saying, I hear what you are saying. How about we compromise? Like they could be the voice of
They
reason
could.
in
And
a
it's like
situation.
who support okay, so then my thing is like who supports them while they're supporting Karen and Zach? Each
Mhm.
other. What do you mean?
Yes.
And then the layers
This is
for
a real
that too
opportunity.
though, Allie, is like you have it like y'all two are with these lovers and y'all trying to figure out where you fit in all of that. But then it also adds additional layers on because Zach is a jealous ass character. So what do you mean that you went to have lunch with Aaron? What are y'all talking about? Why are you talking about that with him? Give it us something.
Please, because that's
But you want to
exactly
have
what
her
it would
having
have
lunch with
been.
Daniela King when she could have been having lunch with Aaron Carter for free because he gonna pay.
And Will, Fatima, you're good, you're full. You want anything else? Oh, okay. Like he's gonna make sure, but that just goes to show, you know, to me what happens when you allow the fandom
Yeah.
too much proximity into your writer's room, because the desire for Fatima and Danny to be friends definitely, you know, people, I would say the minority was like, yeah, put I would say Kevin, put Aaron and Fatima together as a unit, and also that's another relationship dynamic that has nothing to do with sex. That you can see
Yes.
a man and a woman truly support one another, and it's not driven by, you know, they're trying to have sex with each other, or it's driven by any type of romantic love or desire. It's driven by the fact that we are not on the outside, but we are in this equation, and we're trying to make it work, and we're here to support one another. We're here to support our, you know, Zach and Karen as we maneuver through this new space, this new journey. But you know, no, Fatima and Danny need to be friends. Okay.
It is so much like there is a wealth of story there because in addition to Aaron being able to show exactly who he is and reaffirm the man that he is and building a friendship with Fatima and supporting Fatima doing the same, Zach getting jealous of it, so then y'all can either work on him and have him work it out or not because she decides that she's not going to stop talking to Aaron because they're all going to be family any damn way and he gonna have to get over it. But then also the like the cherry on top of the Sunday and great storytelling could be Fatima gets to see how Aaron loves on Karen and then go home and see how Zach loves on her. Mm.
Yeah, I love that. You know, because I love that because it really goes to show. I don't believe that Fatima is oblivious to the lack that she's receiving from Zach. I
Mm.
don't believe that she's oblivious. And excuse me, to put Fatima in a position where she is watching Aaron, someone that she may not even think much of, not in a bad way, but she just may not think much
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
And to watch him comfort Karen, to watch him provide for her, just the little things that he do. You want me to go warm up your food? I mean, have you eaten anything? Like he's such a nurturer. He's such a provider, and it's really a contrast to Zach to really show that hey, you have truly been lacking in the most minimal ways possible. Just he can't bring you food then eat it, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. If he brings you food, it's for you to
It's
eat.
supposed to be for you to eat, baby.
It's supposed to be for you to eat. If you come home after a long day, Aaron is gonna massage your feet. Zach is trying to slide up in you and massage
Hello.
something else. You know
Hello.
what I'm saying? So
It
it is
make
a
you eat
huge
Zacos and be
contrast.
all gassy at that. Like, it's just like...
And I don't even trust Zach's cooking, if we gonna be honest. And you ain't finna give me no botulism with this ground beef. I'm sorry. But, it's like to show, I think that's honestly, as we're speaking, that's probably one of the main reasons maybe that the writers have been so against that connection, because I don't want Fatima to be in a
Mm.
place to have a visual presentation of what she's not missing. It's one thing to know, like for me, I'm a person, I can know something, but when I verbalize that and I hear how dumb it sounds, like Alicia, dog, come on
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it can
Yep.
be like for
Yep.
Fatima, you may know it, but then now you see it, now you
Yeah.
have to act on it. You have to do something. So that could be a reason why there's such a resistance to connect everyone together.
That's real. I can see that.
Yeah.
But y'all
But
going
y'all
on,
need to do
y'all...
better though.
Hello, we going into season 9. Y'all about to start shooting season 10. Let's stop picking the bottom of the barrel and start giving us the creme de la creme, because it's right there for you. Fatima ain't going away. Y'all love Crystal down, and give her something to work with. Give her people
Yes.
to work with. Ugh.
Yes. Please.
All right.
Please.
Is there any other scenes that you can think of where they kind of dropped the ball when it came to Aaron, and it was just like, yeah, there was so much more there. I think the baby shower was a great one.
Girl. So we had the baby shower. We said the whole thing about Curly Sue
Yes.
calling him John.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I always felt that they did a disservice with Aaron is because a lot of the fandom view him as he is this image of perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go back to the scene where he shows up to Karen's salon, which I thought was a cute gesture. He paid for an appointment, so he paid for her time for an hour. He was her client. And he just wanted to spend time with her. He just wanted to talk to her after, Fawn showed up to their date. And Karen asked the question. She says, what, you gonna forget your wallet this time, or is she gonna have to bring it to you? And he was like, he kept talking about how Fawn wasn't gonna be a problem, how Fawn wasn't going to bother her. She's
Mm-hmm.
harmless. And it went to show that I believe that Aaron was so intrigued or just enamored with Karen that sometimes he could lose sense of reality or sense
Mm.
of what's right there before you, because Fawn was not harmless.
Yeah.
Fawn was already going through her a mental breakdown, and he was just unable to see it because his mind was fixed on, you cheated on me. I do still love you. I do still care about you. We're getting a divorce. That's it. And I'm not saying his mind shouldn't have been there. However, I don't put anything past anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone is liable to do, something. And so it, to me, in his nature of being a man of God, not missing the cues, really using discernment on
Mm-hmm.
everyone who's in your life. And I just feel that, with Aaron, sometimes that could be his, and maybe that's his blind spot, that maybe he's just not all the time aware of certain
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And because I think even with Zach, Zach could completely disrespect this man, and he's
Yeah.
just like, we gonna get there one day, brother. Brother, you my brother. I got you, brother. And I'm like, Aaron, I get it, and that's cool. But you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta read the room, sir. You gotta read the room. But I think that
And that's a
those are
perfect
just some
segue for
instruments.
me, Allie, though, because my thoughts
Mhm.
is like they dropped the ball 100% in reference to Zach and Aaron engaging with one another. Like, we needed to see more of where Aaron was pulling this damn patience from. What are some of his internal thoughts? How is he hyping himself up to be able to handle Zach? Because Zach is always out of pocket with him. And there's Aaron at this point, it's been 2 times when Zach put his hands on Karen at that restaurant, and when Zach was the reason why she had to go to the hospital and they thought she was having the babies early. Those are the 2 times that Aaron was like, okay, this peaceful, I will lay hands on you. But other than that, it has been Zach every single time. And for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, because he got sense and he knows that Zach is beneath him. I said it. Mm. He has kept
Oh
his cool, and we could see more of that. That could be what helps flesh out Zach. Like, there's so many things set up for them to actually put Zach on an evolution journey. He got an Aaron to go up against and compete with. You think you big and bad. You say that you better than him. Meanwhile, all we get is the damn lip service of, I'm better than Aaron, I'm better than Aaron. And we don't see you try to outdo him in nurturing. We don't see you try to outdo him in consideration. We don't see you try to outdo him in money. We don't see you try to outdo him in business. We don't see you try to outdo him in intellect. You literally just like a little squawking ass duck on the side of the road, hollering about you so much better, and doing not a damn thing. Pipe down, pipsqueak. The opportunity is literally there. Bring Aaron ass in the game. Put him in, coach, and let Zach fight to be the man that he believes himself to be. They about to make me mad now. I'm thinking about it, Allie.
Baby, I heard it. Heard it in your voice. I heard it, baby. I'm saying like, man, you hit it. What Phil Mop said, put me in the game, coach. You should let that lane go. Let him go and put me in. And that was such a moment because it's like now that we're talking, like all of these things are coming to my mind because Zach has told Aaron, I like you, but I don't want to like you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you're a cool dude, but I don't want to like you. So they will drop little nuggets and not really turn the curve. Y'all get to the stoplight, and when it turned green, the car just sit there. They don't accelerate. They don't go. It's just, well, why did you make him say that? Because then that was at the basketball court. Then we get the moment with Aaron, Zach, and Miss Lisa at Karen's home where they're putting together the cribs.
Yep.
Zach don't know what the hell he doing. He's getting upstaged by Aaron. Miss Lisa makes a statement. It's like, nah, this is Zach because Aaron obviously knows how to do this. Then Zach told me, yeah, I left my tool in my car. You ain't got no tool in your car.
Not a damn tool to third. What are you talking about?
Not one toolbox, not one tool belt, not one tool, nothing. But it was because you were getting shown up. But I would love to have a conversation with Zach and Aaron where Zach can truly elaborate on what he means. What's the reason you don't want to like him? And that's why I think when you and I talk about Karen, it's always a different perspective because she can tell why I don't want to like Fatima and I don't want to be jealous of her, but these are the reasons why I feel this way. My friends are becoming her friends. It's blurred lines everywhere. With Zach, you make
Karen
a statement
started
and y'all
off,
don't allow him to say nothing.
Hello, Aaron, Allie. Karen started off once she found out that they was hunching. If y'all wasn't hunching, I would be your friend. Karen has said that outright. Like, she has literally said Fatima is a cool chick. But Zach. And that's real. Karen, I mean, not Karen. Zach has yet to say that is his issue with Aaron, even though it's actually bigger than Aaron. Not only are you with what was the love of my life, because, again, the story is still going. And some of y'all might be disappointed by the end. Anywho.
Yeah.
But also, I think that Zach is wrestling with demons of inadequacy when he's confronted with a well-to-do, wealthy, healthy-ass man displaying healthy masculinity. Because everybody think that they the smartest until the actual smart person walk into the room. Everybody think that they the coldest until the actual chilly bitch walk into the room. Let me show you what it really is. And because it's in Zach's personality and in Zach's character and in Zach's nature to get mad and throw a tantrum because he hasn't been taught healthy coping mechanisms or emotional intelligence, he can't look at the feelings of jealousy, the feelings of being insecure, the feelings of being inadequate and let that be motivation for him to get better. He's going to lean into his other toxic coping mechanisms, which is to throw tantrums, which is to amp up his bravado, get the hollering. Whatever. Aaron needs to be utilized better. If for nothing else, he is already such a beautiful representation of healthy masculinity, while every other man on this show is showing the opposite.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yes. So in a nutshell, use the man. He is an amazing actor. He is an amazing actor.
Yeah, shout out to Kevin.
And excuse me, if anybody hasn't, watched Google him, pull up this stuff, go watch the stuff that he's been in. He has been around for a very, very long time, very long time. He's just an accomplished and just to me just a great actor. And unfortunately, he's not being utilized to the maximum level that he could be utilized in. And not just because I want to see him on screen, because I know some people may say that he is fine to look at, but there are so many.
Child.
I think Erica and I have done a great job with laying out how he could be utilized with so many
Mm-hmm.
other characters on this show other than Karen,
Yep.
and it just hasn't been, it just hasn't been, it just hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Use them.
I was disappointed that he had Gary in his circle, but the storyline actually made sense. So it's more of like, I just don't want you associated with this whack job Negro. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're able to provide a balance, if you're able to be the angel on the devil's shoulder, that is a story. There is something there. So I don't know what happened. I don't know like what shifted. Maybe something shifted behind the scenes because again, they even abandoned that.
Mm-hmm. They really did. That was just such a drop ball there. And I think, girl, my little compassionate heart at one point for Gary,
Child.
after knowing that y'all don't come for me now, y'all don't come for me. But it was after finding out, he lost his mom in a horrific way,
Hold on,
and
Allie.
that
Hold
does
on, hold on,
not
hold
give
on. You
him the
froze for a
okay.
second. Let me refresh. Okay, you back. Start again.
Okay. With Gary, like I was saying, I just had a compassionate little heart for Gary, finding out how he lost his mom in such a horrific manner, and that does not give him the right to be who he has turned into be. But it did make me wonder, like, who was there for him? Like, who is the person he could talk to? Who does he go out and lay his burdens down to? So I always thought it was a drop ball because with Gary's character, what's the reason why he's even in the men's group? Because he's not in the men's group for his own health. Like he's just
Mm-hmm.
not there for no reason. Like there's a reason that he's there. Gary knows that he needs help. So he connected with Aaron in that way where it's like, yeah, I know he may not be quote unquote the best individual. However, I'm still gonna be someone in his life or some type of presence in his life, which to me is huge when
Yep.
you really recognize who the hell Gary is and
Yeah.
what he's capable of and what he has been doing. And so, as you stated, it's like what happened behind the scenes or what happened off camera that caused Aaron to distance himself from Gary. Like something had to happen because he was just too included in
Mm-hmm.
Gary's life to just
Stop.
not have any type of interaction with this man. It just, you know, that bothers me so badly because I'm like, he was just too intertwined in
Yeah.
this man's life to not have any type of nothing. He in the hospital, there's no mention of it. He is, wreaking havoc in people's life, no mention of it. You came and wrecked my child's mother baby shower. He says nothing about it. It's just it doesn't line up with who we
Yeah.
know Aaron to be, and it just was a missed opportunity. Like you said, what one thing you stated earlier, like what causes Aaron to be so patient with Zach? What causes Aaron to be so patient with these men that honestly most people would not invest their time with?
At all.
And so the only thing I can think about is that maybe there was someone in Aaron's life when he was going down the road, when he was, involved with drugs and alcohol and just wilding, and maybe there was a strong male presence in his life that stood by him while he was going through and was
Mm-hmm.
patient with him. And that's the only thing that makes sense in my mind as to why he's the way that he is with Zach and Gary.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Y'all, I forgot at the very beginning to like give a little container for what we were talking about. So, in talking about the supporting cast and their significance, which I think we did a really good job with Aaron being the first one. He's such a great example, like, because he's just so awesome, and we're never gonna stop saying it. Period. Um, it's important for us to like talk about the ensemble, the supporting cast, because they are, in addition to like what the plot is, right? They are the things, the glue that really makes the story richer. And for Aaron, for example, this is significant because if you utilize him correctly, the show automatically elevates. Like the storytelling on the show immediately elevates a level if Aaron is used appropriately and if he is used more, right? But supporting characters are supposed to help add depth to the main characters. They help you to expand the universe, so they expand the world that you're in, and then they also can carry significant emotional weight. And that is the reason why we are diving into this, because yes, we're watching Sisters, and yes, we enjoy it most of the time. Some of the time, depending on the season.
Yeah.
But you could enjoy it more if not only the main characters are of concern or of focus, but if you fill up the world with supporting cast that is just incredible. Like I think about Forever, which is not a one-to-one comparison, right? Because that's a YA drama and this is an adult drama. But you have the two children who are the romantic interests, but the mothers were freaking dynamic. The damn fathers were interesting. Everybody within the world, the little white girl best friend, the little young Randall. Look, when I tell you not, I scrimped when I said not young Randall is a boy. A sleazy one at that. What are we talking about? But all of that just adds so much additional nuance and color and depth to this beautiful world that Mara Akil built in Forever. And you can't help but enjoy the show, every minute of the show, even when the main characters are not the center focus in this particular scene. And we are giving 22 hours to Tyler every single, well, actually 44 hours every single year, because 2 damn seasons drop a damn year. Like, the least we can get is additional, better supporting characters to start to elevate the damn story. Okay. I'm sorry. I meant to say that at the beginning.
You laid it out well.
It's the PSA for me. Next up, Allie. Oh, anything else you want to add about our Forever Gold Standard?
I'm good. I think I'm good with Aaron.
Okay, but let's talk about Robin, because he's next up on the list. Mr. Supportive Ally. I think that he right behind Aaron was like the next best thing in reference to like, use this man. This adds some interest and some intrigue. He didn't come in inherently toxic or problematic. He came in who he is, confident, with a little bit something behind him, and with great acting chops. Because Austin, baby, I be like, oh, okay.
Yes. This is amazing. And like you said, behind Aaron, he was a great addition to the show. And he came in how he came in, as you stated, very confidently, had a lot of dip on that chip.
Hello.
But he had a lot of dip on that chip, child, but he had a reason. He had a reason to have a dip on the chip. This is a young black man in his 30s who owns the law firm. That is a huge, not just work there, not just partner, not just on the board. He owns the law firm. That says a hell of a lot about this man, about his ambition, about just how he has maneuvered through life. He may play hard and do all that, but he is about his business. So I loved how he came in. And I just look at someone like that, a young black man in his 30s who owns a law firm, has to be a team player, knows when to go in, knows when to come out, knows how to see the whole picture. Excuse me. And we saw that with how he interacted with Andy.
Yep.
He knew what to do. He knew the things to say to get what he wanted ultimately. I don't think that makes him a bad person.
Right.
That just makes him a man on his mission, to me, who knows how to close out the deal.
Yep.
That's how, Robin, that's how I'm explaining you, bro. You know
got your back.
The deal. Yeah, you know how to close out the deal. And he was just so, the camaraderie, because this man, excuse me, did not count it robbery to help Andy in almost every possible way that there was. Use his connections, use his authority, use his abilities to help her friends, pretty much, if they were in jail, not spend too much time in there or avoid it altogether. The way that he moved in this space was just beautiful because Robin has such a quiet confidence that I
Mm-hmm.
think is extremely sexy. He's not
Child.
loud. He doesn't have to be. He's not flashy. He doesn't have to be. His mere presence is enough. He commands the room
Mm-hmm.
just with his voice and his presence. And I think it was absolutely beautiful to watch because not many men on this show carry themselves
In that
like
way,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
I
It was
agree.
just great to see.
I agree. He has supported Andy through quite a few crises. And honestly, in how he was showing up for Andy, I wanted at some point for us to, aside from him being on that damn jet calling Andy, I wanted us to get one or two scenes where we get to see him outside so that we could come up with or ground ourselves in who this man is. Because from what we got, like, yes, there are certain moments, the Paris thing was not your best time. But for the most part, you look like just such a great guy on paper, and we don't get enough of him outside of like interacting with Andy and now swooning over Andy for us to be able to fully dive in and believe like, oh wait, yeah, you're a great guy. Like Aaron, we can say that you're a great guy even after you said this is why I married a white woman, because we got additional scenes and things of you being better, being patient, showing effort, being thoughtful. But Robin, he just down there at the damn law firm putting out every one of Andy and her felon ass friends fire, and it's like, okay, enough. Because also this is a little bit too much for me. You ain't gonna be able to keep the law firm, keep fooling around with this heifer and her gaggle of hoes. Like now I'm rooting for him to just go ahead and cut ties because this is gonna take you down.
It was the gaggle of hoes for me. I was trying to hold my laughter so you can finish your point. That was funny. Andy's Andy's gaggle of hoes, Robin, is gonna be the end of you, sir. That was hilarious. But it's the truth. Because you have Gary over here who's trying to cause a hostile takeover with Hayden to take this man's law firm from him simply because he knows
Behind
that,
her
Andy may
coochie.
have a thing for
All
you.
because of her coochie. Let's call it how we see it, Allie. He wanted to take the man's business behind Andy's coochie. What do you mean?
Oh God.
Sorry.
I just, I mean, that's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to. It was over some cooch that a whole lot of gaggle of hoes done had, and and just like that was deep. Like that was really deep to do that. And then I think even in that moment, because I was looking forward. I forget what was that season 5 or 4 that at the end of that
5.
happened, and we could see in the 5, and we could see Robin really in disarray. He had the money,
Yeah.
but it wasn't cash. He was cash poor in
And
a sense, and
they
so it
moved
was
up the
like,
timeline.
yeah,
And he was like,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like they were playing chess, and then all of a sudden they just pulled Robin off the board. After saying he got
yeah.
time, he got to the end of the day, then he just don't never show up, and then all the days pass.
Hmm. So that
Child.
was and that was a thing, even going back to your PSA about the importance of having these well-rounded supporting cast, because Robin to me is a great addition to the show, but they just did not utilize this man. And like you said, he's a wonderful actor. Didn't really utilize him, and so when he couldn't make the deadline or they upped the deadline, he just disappears.
Yeah.
We don't know where he was. We don't know what he was doing. We don't know how is he still the owner of this law firm. What happened with that situation? And then he just comes back like a thief in the night while Andy is being in the interrogation room for the attempted murder of Gary Borders. He just comes in the nick of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what?
Like he
I
Allie Nick.
understand
He ain't.
coming in the nick of time. Robin. I'm gonna give you that, bro. But it was just like, really, y'all gonna do this for real? He just shows up like Superman, like he just
Child.
appears, and it's like, okay, and we don't get no background, we don't get any of that. And then when he is moving like a boss, I like, for instance, with Fatima, like showing the different dynamics with that. Now to see, I don't know if we really saw him in an authoritative. position.
The
And to
Fatima
see
mess
him in that
grind
moment,
my gears so bad, Allie. I think that's gonna be the thing that
girl,
I take from this series. Like, I will never forgive them for letting Fatima
yeah,
talk to him the way that they did.
yeah, it was something. Cause he came back with such an authority, and then it just disappeared because it's Fatima. She can say whatever she want to
Fatima
say to
Wilson's the
whomever.
one who gets to own you. Fatima Wilson's the one who gets to dictate. The same one getting out of her goddamn bed at the crack of dawn every morning, go out and get the bacon while her man sits and colors on a goddamn whiteboard and makes Zaccos and brings her food that he's going to eat in front of her goddamn face. And doesn't matter that she failing out of law school, and it doesn't matter that he went and got a goddamn custody of a baby that he don't even take care of because we don't never damn see it. That Fatima? Oh.
Baby, you laid that out.
In what world? In what world does a damn partner, co-owner of a multi internationally branched law firm allow a paralegal failing out of law school to tell him what is and what ain't in his damn building that he paying a goddamn lease on? And Zach gonna walk in here in 2.5 seconds doing being stupid. Girl, if you don't get the hell out of his face. Couldn't have been me, child.
But that goes to show. But that goes to show just how. Just for instance, 2 episodes before that happened, Fatima, I need you to get to your office. Fatima, why you sitting in the hallway? Fatima, I'm gonna need you to stop taking impromptu lunch breaks.
Hello.
I need you to come to work on time. Leave when you're supposed to. How we go from that to Robin? Who you talking to? Oh, that's what how? Sorry. How did we go from that to that? And to me, going back to the the lack of character development, this is a man who is competent in what he does. He flows in that, and now he is allowing a subordinate to talk to him any kind of way. And so this is another thing when Erica and I are having these discussions, and people want to just minimalize it with y'all are haters or you just don't like Fatima. These are the things that we're talking about, and I believe that you and I always provide information. We provide facts. We provide the actual scene that we're discussing to back up the point that we're making.
Mm-hmm.
In what world is Fatima able to talk to the owner, have owner, partner, whatever, in that type of tone, knowing what he know? He knew you had a gun when you went to go see Gary. He knew all of this information, and yet he's still protecting you. And then it's well, I feel more comfortable knowing that you're looking after Andy. Who cares?
Hello.
So again, the cooch makes you do all that. Even though it's a gaggle of hoes, it makes you forget who the hell you are. No, sir. No.
And if that's going to be the case, you need to tell that story too. Because plenty of women get dickmatized, but there's a story in how that actually goes down, and we need to see it. It doesn't just magically happen. There's some work that goes into that. Child.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Do
you believe...
Go ahead. No, go for it.
I might skip, but I was going to ask you, when it comes to Robin, and we see him, when we see him, do you think that his character is worthy enough to become a main character on the show? And if he does become a main character on the show, do you believe that his only connection will be that of Andy?
I would love to have him as a series regular, but we will have to get rid of some of the other men first. Like he can't have more screen time, and we get more screen time on Aaron, because that's what I'm kind of contentious on. Aaron gets more screen time first. If I got to give out the screen time, Aaron is top of the damn list. So if Aaron gets the screen time he deserves, and he gets up to series regular, like the dude who plays Tony got up randomly, I wouldn't mind Robin, but then we would have to remove a man, because then, this is going to sound so terrible, but then the show becomes very, very unbalanced. Even though it's unbalanced now with the toxicity with Zach, but I feel like Aaron got Zach, Tony, and Rich handled. Like, Aaron's presence compensates for those three gets together. So we add Robin to the mix. Then it's like, okay, so then why isn't everybody realizing that they need to lead their men and model themselves after Andy and Karen? Y'all are stupid. I would be watching every week like, y'all are stupid. Y'all are seeing Robin and Aaron way too much for this to be enough. I'm just saying. So, I mean, if I'm in the writer's room, 100% there's a way that that Robin could be there more, and he could develop relationships. Since he out here bailing out felon ass friends, that immediately puts you in proximity. And, you know, it takes a couple words when you come across somebody to spark something and connect with somebody in some way. And he could take interest and want to do mentorship, right? With, you know, Danny. Like, well, he didn't get involved when the whole Danny and Jonah thing happened, but Fatima, hell, like, you could start with Fatima again in reference to bringing additional characters to build up her. She is aspiring to be a lawyer, and all Andy got is, your damn professor is wrong for giving you the D that you earned. Yeah, get some other lawyer in here, because fucking around with Andy, you ain't going to get that damn JD. But Robin's going to get you together and say, well, why did you get the D? Oh, so you're not studying? Well, what's the problem at home? Okay, do we need to make it look like you're working more and you actually here studying? What we need to do, Fatima, because you want the JD or you don't want the JD. I could totally see that being Robin's additional story, right? Canceling dates with Andy to help Fatima study. That creates additional, you know, tension. And Andy don't know how to be in a damn healthy ass relationship. So she's getting frustrated. She could get frustrated with Fatima. She could get frustrated with Robin if they're in a relationship together because she wants the tension. And then that becomes the thing that helps them start to push Andy to like adjust or address that, because he's standing on business that I promised I was going to help Fatima get her goddamn law degree, and I'm going to do it. Nothing's changed. Me supporting your friend is me supporting you. All of that is there for the taking. You just asked me this question. I have never thought about it before, Allie, and this just came to me. Why is it not coming on my screen?
That's a fact. That's a fact. And that's why I have to believe that these writers, that they are just comfortable with the way that things are, in a sense of they're not looking to build. Because just the two men that we've discussed so far, both of these men, we have talked about how they can be beneficial in the life of Fatima. And in addition, that creates conflict with Zach. Why are you spending so much time with Aaron? What's going on there? With Andy, okay, Aaron, Robin seems to be helping you quite a bit. Like, what's going on? And then it puts the light on Andy too, to show that you really have not been the friend that you think you are. Because when she was under your wing, you were getting mad at the professor for giving her a grade that she rightfully deserved. Yet she gets connected with Robin, and now she's making nothing but A's. Now she's learning how to prioritize her time, because everybody doesn't have great management. And if you are friends with someone, you can clearly see, nah, sis, when you get off work, you do X, Y, and Z. How many hours do you spend studying within a week?
Hello.
So when you time to take your test, you're not prepared. So those type of things, and even the things that we're saying, as you stated, Erica, it creates tension and conflict amongst other characters, which creates other stories to be told.
Hell, and even if he don't want a one-on-one, sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, I was saying writers, it's not hard.
Child. And even if he don't want to one-on-one help her, he could try to put her in a better situation to help her. Okay, I'm staying because me and you gonna work it out, Andy. I think I should take Fatima as my assistant. This will help her. Boom. One very simple decision changes the game. So much conflict. Andy got to get a different assistant and maybe even got to do some damn work. Fatima wants to take the job but don't want to abandon Andy, so she's going to hold herself back for her friend. Zach don't want her working under a man. All the damn storylines to just fall out.
I'm talking about fall. Literally. Fatima, it won't be, Robin, you mind if I take an early lunch? I actually do mind. We have a mediation appointment, blah, 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 blah. It changes everything.
Zach don't get to just run in anymore. Like, yes! Where is it at? We need it. Tyler, please. Please.
Oh man.
Child, anything else with
My
Aaron? I mean, not
ancestors.
Aaron. Robin's character. I think we
Robert.
didn't gave so damn much. I
Nah,
don't even want
man.
to go to nothing else.
I was gonna say that was good there. That was good. We gave how we feel about them, the lack of character development, what y'all could do if you want to create other stories. It's right here. Come listen to this video. Take what y'all take. Just give us a little bit, give us some credit. And
Please.
let's just go from there. We basically gave y'all, I know y'all already wrote season 10, but you know, it ain't too late. Y'all ain't started filming yet.
Hello. It ain't too late. Uh in this section, last but certainly not least, is a character who I don't actually think needs more minutes. I think that they need to choose better on what they do with the minutes they give him, because they have been all over the place with Maurice. Sometimes it hits, other times it don't. And the saving grace is that Brian is just such a brilliant comedic actor. But on the page, child, just the comedic relief alone does not even scratch the surface for the potential of all the deeper storylines that we could do, or the true brilliance that Brian brings to the damn role. I know that this isn't a show or a series about queer love. However, you have a queer man there, and you could be making commentary about, you know, what that looks like, especially in comparison to heterosexual love, or how it benefits, or even just fleshing out the character so that it's a strong supporting character, especially because you decided to make Maurice Sabrina's best friend. You made the flamboyant gay Sabrina's best friend. It's right there on the page. Why isn't she co-opting confidence? Why isn't she cultivating self-esteem? Why isn't she building bravado? Child.
Why haven't we seen a scene with them at the mall with him giving her a makeover? As much as he talk about
Yep.
Sabrina's clothing, not to say that she's going to change completely her style, but just a moment. If Maurice had an opportunity to dress Sabrina for a day, what would it look like?
Mm-hmm.
Give him something, because he always talks about her fashion, and I think that, with Maurice, I have really grown to like the character way more than I thought I would, because I didn't really care for the character in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that what you said is so true, because you do have a character. As you said, it's not a show that's rooted and grounded in queer love, but you do have a queer character on the show. And I remember a couple years ago there was this guy, who I don't remember how he identified himself, but I do know that he was queer and a black guy, and he was totally appalled with the character of Maurice, because he just felt that Maurice was like the character. What is it? How you say it? A caricature of a gay black man, because he was like, not all gay black men, I guess, fashion themselves that way, but that is a accurate representation. But it was like, where's the depth with Maurice? Because you can have depth as well and be comedic relief.
Yeah, be
And I think that
hilarious.
as you and be hilarious, and as
Most
you
of the
stated,
most
I think
funny
that
jokes are truth, honestly.
yes, yes, and like you said, I honestly, this season is probably the my favorite season of Maurice, and I
Mm.
think it was my favorite season of Maurice because we had a moment to see Maurice, um, even the whole thing with him and Paige, and we had an opportunity to see Maurice actually operate in a sense of vulnerability when it came to him and Sabrina. Sabrina had been working a lot. She really hadn't been having time for him. He was like, I miss you. I want us to go to lunch.
Yeah.
Even though
Yep.
he was going with Grayson, and she invited Rich, but it was like, I do have an opportunity to be amongst and around you. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was great, because I would have never believed, would have ever heard that come out of Maurice's mouth. But that was
Mm.
just a breath of fresh air for me to see him function in that way, and to truly be concerned about Sabrina, knowing that Rich ain't it, but he just to come out and say it. Rich is
Yeah.
not it for you, and I don't like how you look. You not yourself. What's going on with you? I'm gonna need you to go to Turks and Caicos, sis. Get you a nice little bathing suit. Have a good time, because this man, the so-called man that you have, is not making you happy. Like, you're
Child.
not happy. So I really enjoyed my reason. Like you said, it don't really need to do too much with his character, but come on now. He been steadfast. Brian is an amazing actor. Y'all could give him more.
Y'all
He will
could.
deliver.
Y'all
He gonna
could.
deliver.
Hell, on the comedic relief part, I don't know why we not having Maurice run into Andy more, because she quite literally is only managing partner from his information. And why isn't he holding that over her head? Mm.
Okay.
In a funny way.
So that would be on brand.
But, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did get the, integration with him and Pam, but I feel like because they don't also know what they're doing with Pam, that got a little bit muddy this season. And that could be beautiful. Like, that could be a best friendship in the making. But again, they don't know what they're doing with Pam, I fear. But she ain't even on is she on the list? She not on the list this week. Cause yeah, I think I'm over Pam. That's a whole other conversation. Maurice, y'all. Maurice, there is just so much potential there. He could be a stronger force in pushing for Sabrina to evolve for her betterment. I think that now that Maurice and Pam are cool and he is a ambassador for Roots to Riches, I would love to see what it looks like when he engages with Karen and like them actually build some type of rapport. He doesn't have to be friends with all of the sisters, but like expanding it in that regard would be great. Like giving Karen additional friends who can actually be friends. And then fleshing out Maurice's story, as a byproduct.
Yes, I would like to say, Lord, the conversation that would happen between Karen and Maurice, knowing that Karen has two kids by two different men. I just literally
Yes.
had a vision of him like being in her house and him watching her, run around with these kids, changing his diaper, doing it. He just watching, and instead of you thinking he's finna have something so profound to say, he just, so what's it like? Having giving a Maurice answer or Maurice take on the situation that has really nothing to do with the kids, but just, so did you really have sex with them like days apart? Like it would be on brand like for Maurice to do that, but I could just picture that like expanding him, because I do believe when they went to his extravaganza, whatever that thing was, I can't remember specifically, but they went to support him, they all went to support Maurice because obviously he is a fixture in their lives as well. But like you said, he doesn't have to be friends with them. I don't see him being friends too much with Danny because they do have a banter. Like they do have that banter with one another. I do see him with Andy, kind of as you said, like holding that over her head. Like I'm the one that helped you win that case, girl. You ain't give me no money, no acknowledgement, no nothing. And then of course Sabrina is his girl. And then I think Sabrina's proximity to Karen and the sensitivity she has toward her for the most part, I think Maurice would kind of just usher that in as well with how Sabrina deals with or her relationship with Karen. So that would be a good thing to see.
You just sparked something for me, because even with him and his engagement with Danny, I think that we could get more story into why he don't with Danny, and it could have been because he clocked that Danny is not Sabrina's friend from the jump. He knows how to playfully tease her, but Danny be cutting for the jugular. He don't like that. Like, why aren't we doing that?
That's facts.
Child.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, aside from the men with the potential, y'all, we also got some villains, some antagonists that could probably also get expanded. And top of our list is one of Allie's faves.
Yes, girl. Mr. Hayden. I know some people in the comments like, Allie, what? You tripping? Hayden, yes. Yes, Hayden. And one of the things I like is when you think about how Hayden was introduced to us, and I always go back on that because even though it was short lived, the way that Hayden was introduced to us, we know that he was a friend of Fatima's, and Fatima asked him for a favor to help Andy with this whole Gary situation and trying to get her assets that was frozen and so on and so forth. And so when he came up on the scene and when he was introduced to Andy, Hayden really was a helpful person to Andy, not only on a professional side, but on a personal side as well. He was trying to warn her about Gary. He told Andy, "They look, I'm your friend. I'm trying to look after you." And Andy told him in so many words, like, "Nigga, you not my friend." Like straight up.
You might have got me a couple $100,000. You might have got me my job, like a promotion, but we ain't friends though. Child.
Hey, Andy, and it was like
Nasty
boom,
work,
Andy,
Andrea.
diabolical. And then once Fatima started dating Zach, it was like that was the origination of the villain story with Hayden becoming this nuisance. And honestly, even though they try to make it seem like it's because he wanted to have sex with Fatima again, my take is that he was genuinely concerned about her as a friend, knowing that hey, you dating somebody who his record ain't squeaky clean, and
Mm-hmm.
I really am concerned about you. And I don't think he really knew how to process that, being that they were friends, their mothers are cool. So I don't really know how long Hayden and Fatima have been close like that, but their mothers are cool. So it's like I want to protect you, and I just think that it just got
Yeah.
skewed and perverted along the way. And I just hate that they changed his character like that because once they changed him, oh my gosh, he just
Child.
became truly a villain, truly doing the devil's work on this show
But then they
for a
gave him
long
a
time.
villain without giving him a real toolbox. Like, if you were going to be second in command to Gary Borders, you also need to be way more menacing and about that life, or at least us see you try to become that. Like, you was all bark with no damn bite, and they really defaulted so often to what felt like massage noir as his like
Mm-hmm.
weapon of choice, and it's like nobody is scared of your bigotry, sir. It makes you look stupid. That's it.
Literally nobody. Like that's a great point too. Because with Gary, Gary's just Gary. You know he's a menace. You know he's evil, conniving, manipulative, all of those things. And with Hayden, it just felt like I just want to make Zach's life a living hell. Like I'll do
And
little
talk
things
about
on the
black
side
women.
here to get under his skin. And then when that started coming into the picture, it was just like, where did that come from? Because he didn't give that in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like he just did not give that. So
Yeah.
it goes back to what you said, like the misogyny of it all. When they, I guess, wrote that into the makeup of his character, it was such a huge jump that it's like, whoa! Now all these black women, the B words. Now they just,
Hood
yeah.
rats.
Now I don't. I date white women. Yeah, they hood rat. They ghetto. They this. They that. I date
And then he
white
go and
chicks.
fall
But
for a prostitute. Like, what? Do we? I believe you have lost the plot. Because which one is it?
they
Negro?
did. Mhm.
Are we
Mhm.
all trifling
And it,
hoes? Gold diggers? With 16 baby daddies? That you hate?
okay.
Or
That
do
you
you like
hate with
sliding
a
into black
passion.
coochie? Prostitute coochie. And that's no shade, Samara, because get it how you live, baby. But that man is running around in the streets talking all type of big about your label, and then coming home to you damn near falling in love and ready to crash out and try to kill somebody behind the prostitute coochie. Child.
After that first night. And it to my recollection, we've never seen Hayden with the white woman.
Ever! Where are these
Okay.
white women you
Hmm.
speak of?
You love black women, old women, older black women, younger. It don't matter. You don't
It
have no
don't
age preference.
matter.
It
If
don't
it's
matter. You ain't
snowing,
got no
you
age
ain't
preference.
going. So what are you talking about?
Okay. Hmm. That's a fact. That's a fact. Cause honey, okay, you show me you love black women, and you done had sex with three of them on this show that we know of. That's Fatima, Tamara, and Miss
Miss
Marie.
Marie. And like to your
Mm.
point, Allie, like when we first were introduced to him and how helpful he was to Andy, he also was a great black attorney. He's the only other black attorney at the damn firm. And for all we knew, he was really great at his job as a tax attorney. We could see so much more of him actually doing his job the same way that we could see more of Andy actually doing her job. Now, don't get me wrong, we have seen him more than Andy do a job. But
Yes.
to balance out his menacing, there needs to be additional development, and it could come by way of that. Like the moment that Miss Marie came in, it's just like Miss Marie, rotating door, Miss Marie and Tamara spread eagle on this damn desk, and not a spreadsheet is being opened, not a brief being debriefed, nothing being typed.
Mm-mm. Nope. I'm talking about it. Full stop. Full stop. And I think where they did get it right with Hayden is the jargon. Like
Oh,
he listening to him at work, he definitely sounds more like a lawyer than Andy does. Like
mm-hmm.
he was on it from that perspective. Like you said, they have to give Hayden more. If you're going to give him that much screen time, it has to have more development with that. Excuse me. However they decide to do it, whether you dig into, his father passing away, that dig into the relationship with his mother. How is that? Because the way he talks about black women, a lot of time, I would say from my personal experience, black men who I know in my past that have had a negative connotation with black women is because they had a horrible relationship with their mom and they hadn't gotten the help yet. They hadn't
Mm-hmm.
been to therapy to flush that thing out. Like for instance, like he was my homeboy, somebody I had a sexual relationship with. Didn't have a great. I mean, he was chocolate. I'm talking about like ebony dark, and his mom was light skinned and his mother just didn't treat him well. Like they didn't have a great relationship. So he just
Was she
warded off
biracial?
all light skin. No,
His mother wasn't biracial. Okay.
no. Mm-mm. And she just treated him different. I don't know. And then and no shade, but there are some lights. Sometimes you will, they'll get with someone believing my child is going to come out looking a certain way or have this certain complexion. And come to realize, baby, I know biracial children who just as chocolate as you and I. And their mom white, dad black, or vice versa. So you never know how genetics are gonna work. So I don't know if she believed. Now he has a sister. His sister is light skinned. Didn't have a problem with the mom, but you got this chocolate baby who took after the complexion of his father, and he's not being treated well, and he always knew that. So he just warded off light skinned women. It didn't matter if he thought they were cute, whatever. Like he just had this disgust
Mm.
when it came to light skinned women. And I was in college, but I knew, I'm like, baby, you need some help. You need to talk to somebody because that's unhealthy to feel that strongly about that. You need to talk to somebody. And eventually, he did get help. He never dated a light skinned woman. That's his business. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like with Hayden, it's like, what's your connection to your mom for you to say the things that you say about black women?
Yep.
That is alarming to me that
Yep.
he says it so frequently. But we need to know if you're gonna put him on the show and
Yep.
have him up here, y'all got to do better with Hayden.
Yeah. Period. And Chris can handle it. He can handle any
Hmm.
emotional beats that you throw at him.
Yeah,
Um,
he's good. I like him.
Pivoting real quick from an antagonist to an ally, I think that we should have gotten more with Paris, and that's the hill that I'm gonna die on, cause the way he was introduced, and I was just like, yes, this is perfect. This is gonna give Andy some depth because she's so damn shallow. Only for him to be ushered out pretty much as quickly as he was ushered in after Andy busted wide open on his mother's couch.
Rolling him on the couch. Mm-hmm.
Child,
Mm-hmm.
wild
Mm-hmm.
work.
Paris is someone that I think I'll always miss.
Mm,
He's like my what if. What
mm,
if y'all would have kept him? What if y'all would have had him really connect with Andy? Andy, definitely what she was attracted to him. She called him because she was pissed off at Gary. But sometimes that's just how life works. You're mad at whoever you with or was with. You call this person thinking he's going to just soothe your itch for the night or fill this hole for the night, not realizing that this man actually came at the perfect time.
yep.
Maybe you were not all the way prepared, but he was just too great of a person for it to happen that way. This man fought Gary in your house. He protected you, telling Gary, baby, hey, you need to go. She don't want you here.
Yeah.
Fought for him. Then Andy asked him to leave. His hands swollen. You gonna ask me to leave after you done called me to come over here? I done fought this dude for you. He never, you know what I'm saying? And like
Mm-hmm.
even with that, he never disrespected Andy. He never made her feel like she was beneath him or wasn't favorable in his eyes. And now the whole boner on the mama couch situation was something because baby, the way his
But
mama
Andy
showed
was
up in
also
them,
begging for it, child.
she was,
She was begging
she
so
was,
bad.
she was bad. Oh baby, the th- the thirst in that moment was something so so serious. And are we gonna combine his mama in this part as well?
Yeah,
Or you just
yeah,
want to talk about Paris?
yeah.
Okay, so when his mom came in and saw them, I like how she handled that entire situation because sometimes we need that voice of reason. We need that wisdom, we need that experience to talk to us out of a situation. You're mad at your boyfriend, so you had sex with my son. And as I'm talking to her parents, you go watch that sex off of you. Like, she didn't hold anything. And sometimes we need to hear that. We need to hear the truth about our filthiness and about what we're doing and about the road that we're going down. And I know some people didn't like what the grandma had to say. I didn't mind it. Now I know if she said it to me, I probably in my mind would have been like, "Who the hell are you talking to?" But I would have respected her enough not to say it because I know she was telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just both of them, together to see this man and his mom or grandma, because it was switched, have their own cleaning service, live together. That they had a story within itself.
Yeah.
That we never got an opportunity to find out what it was.
And honestly, I think that when Paris was introduced, I was like, not Andy getting a blue collar Aaron. Absolutely.
Mm-mm.
Only for, that to not necessarily be the case. Or we don't know, because again, he wasn't around long enough for us to really be able to experience that. But I agree that there could have been a lot there with that particular duo that could have fully helped build up this SISTAS world and flesh out the storylines of people.
Yeah. And they played in our face too, because you remember at the club, and Paris comes in, he was like, "Oh, Aaron, what's up? Like, I ain't seen you in a while."
Right.
So not only is he the blue collar Aaron, but he knows Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And to have the two best friends dating too, I said, "Oh, I was all here for it." And
so here for it. I forgot about that, Allie. Probably because I got so goddamn disappointed.
Oh God. Mm-hmm.
We was about to be up, bro. In that moment, also, Aaron was just showing his Aaron because he oh, we need to go with Andy. We need to make sure she okay because she drunk as a skunk.
Okay.
That could have been the thing to save their damn friendship right there if they men's was dating. I mean, if they was dating the damn men that knew each other, the well-to-do ass men. Andy, you is not in an interrogation room if you kept that goddamn janitor. See what happens when you listen to your lesser, shallow ass mind?
I miss.
We were robbed.
We were. We were. And my mama was like, because I don't watch. I've never seen
the Oval. I think he's on the Oval.
Yeah, my mom was like, he plays on Oval. I was like, he does. So she was like, yeah.
I seen him on a commercial, I think, and I was like, oh, okay.
You lost him to that show, please. And I ain't saying nothing, y'all. I've never seen the Oval. I don't know what happened over. I've never seen the episode, so I don't know. But still, we lost him to that show.
Hell, I'm like, damn, we don't have Paul, and he in every goddamn thing else, but
girl, every Tyler Perry production, but
and non-Tyler Perry production, because he over there on House of Vicious. He over there. I think he's in a bunch of BET stuff and Peacock. Anyway, shout out to the dude who plays Redrick. I think his name is, who plays Paul.
I like
child. So we got him on the list, Allie, right? I'm gonna skip over Miss Girl. We're gonna come back to her because I'm gonna go to the other man. But now I'm like, I don't even know if he should. Well, yeah, okay. He's been misused previous seasons, but then once they had him make the exit, it's like I'm okay with him not being there and being gone. And y'all, we talking about Calvin, the deserving upgrade. They missed their mark when they literally had us in the thick of the Sabrina and Calvin relationship, and he wanted more things sexually than Sabrina did. It's the perfect vehicle for her to be able to start to advocate for herself, learn additional confidence, and just speaking up and shifting out of her passive modes when she needs to protect herself or to protect the things that she actually wishes. That was a perfect opportunity for that. But then even when you shift into the season of her going to prison or going to jail with Maurice and Calvin showing up, like that was an opportunity to flesh out that he was into her more than just sex. And the reason why that relationship could work is because he's just very much so invested in her as a person, right? I think that having Maurice and Calvin be roommates was such a brilliant choice. And even with that, they kind of like reached a place with their friendship and just stopped when there was still so much more that they could have done. Calvin, now that I think about it, it's like, yeah, there was a lot of missed opportunities with Calvin.
It was. It was a lot of. I mean, just for me, the very jump, like the first episode of Sisters was the first episode. Yeah, the first episode of Sisters, we find out that he has a son and supposedly a crazy baby mama that we never saw.
Yeah.
The entire time that he was on the show, we never saw this child. We never saw this woman, and it made. Now there was one episode, and I don't remember specifically the season. It had to be maybe season 2, I believe, or 3, where this white lady comes to deposit a check from Calvin's job, I believe. She appeared as if she knew Sabrina. She was looking at her a certain way. So I'm like, is this the baby mama? But we were never told who this woman was. And it was just so many missed opportunities with the character of Calvin when it came to him and Sabrina, especially journeying through a dynamic or a relationship where you're not quite comfortable with how your partner presents himself to the world.
Yeah.
And even in the times that Calvin attempted to change certain things about himself to make Sabrina feel more comfortable. And there's this song by Kelly Rowland, I can't think of the name of it, but she talks about like being sexual with her man, and now that they are in a better place, things that she used to say no to now are maybe.
Yeah.
Now it's a maybe.
Yep.
It's not a no. And I think that maybe if Sabrina and Calvin had more time to get comfortable with one another, learn how to trust each other in vulnerable spaces, that maybe certain things that he enjoyed, Sabrina wouldn't mind doing sexually if she felt more comfortable. I think one of the things with Calvin that they would do when Sabrina was against something, and maybe they were just like, we're not committed so we can see anyone that we want, he pops up with a random white girl.
Yeah.
And she just happens to drop over Maurice's house and see it. Both of y'all come out the room naked. So it was like, and you want me to offer up my butthole to you, and you over here, you know what I'm saying, with Susie. Oh, okay then. So it wasn't like
access still denied. Cause what the hell you mean? Child.
Because I'm like, wow. And okay, so let me ask you about this question. This is nowhere on here, but it just came in my mind. There was an episode where Sabrina and Calvin were having a conversation, and Sabrina was not very comfortable with the things that he wanted to do sexually. And he asked Sabrina, did she want to know the things that this white hoe did to him? And I'm sorry, y'all, I get a little frustrated because he just always pop up with some random white chick when Sabrina says no to something. And he asked Sabrina, like, well, do you want to know what she does? Do you want to know why we are so, like, sexually compatible? I wanted to slap fire out of Calvin. Because what you mean?
Same.
No, I don't want to know what you and this.
Did I ask you, Negro? What I want is you on the other side of my damn dough. How about that? Go ask that white woman to tickle your booty, because I'm done. Like, there's certain dialogue that when I tell you the spiteful ass, I guess, Gemini in me, there's no coming back from it. You ask me, do I want to know what another woman does? That's already very sus. But you ask me, do I want to know what this white woman does that's so much better and satisfies you? Let the hoe do it. Mm-hmm. Goodbye. If she do it so good, why are you here asking me to do it? And then tomorrow, you no longer exist. You come to the bank if you want to. I'm going to look right through your ass. You're going to be Casper to me.
Maurice, can you say Maurice? Okay, he'll take you.
Not even Maurice, he'll take you. Next customer.
Yeah.
Next customer. Nobody want to get their money out the bank today. That's fine. I wanted to eat my yogurt anyway. Go on about my motherfucking business. What you mean? Do I want to know what this white woman does tickling your booty? Boy, Calvin, don't get your ass beat. That's the part that God is still working on me with. Because there's some stuff, Allie, that I think he know not to put me in the circumstance. Because I can't even compute what to do. My hand's already moving. He lucky he ain't get stole. Ask me that stupid ass question. I wish a nigga... Don't get no ideas. Erica's future man, don't get no ideas. And it's not funny. It ain't a prank. It ain't a joke. You will get your ass beat. Okay?
Yeah. That's when I knew for sure Sabrina. I said, baby, the fact that she was so calm. Because like you said, I can't, there are certain things I can't even fathom someone asking me. Because I'm a very calm person. I'm very cool and collected. But my mouth is lethal. Don't ever ask me no mess like that.
That's right up there, Allie, with that's why I date white women. That is right up there with it. That's why Aaron, if he ain't had that motherfucking rose and that note. Oh, it's just so funny to me. And Vaughn will like, she will, I think, forever remember Erica. Because I remember the message that she sent me when I finally got on board with Aaron. She was like, "You was not letting that go for it." I don't think I really got into like rooting for Aaron until like the beginning of season 3, because I was still so mad that he had said that. Ask me, do I want to?
It quickly vanished. I think Calvin's a little bit worse because it's the fact that I've already had sex with you. So what are you saying? Are you telling me that you don't enjoy sex with me because I'm not doing a specific thing? And then you have the audacity to tell me that this white woman is doing something better or is providing something for you that I'm just not comfortable with. And then they ask me, do I want to know?
It's that part of it. It's the shaming tactic. Because it's one thing to be in a relationship or be with doing whatever you're doing, even if you're not in a relationship, but you healthily communicating with the person that you laying down with, and you like something and you want them to know how to please you. That's one thing. You helping me be able to excel at pleasing you the way that you like is way different than you shaming me and then comparing me to a white woman that will get me in prison. Please go on about your day, sir. Please don't let the white woman do it. Please. Save us both.
And that goes to show this thing with Calvin, it was a hit and miss, because ultimately I believe that Calvin is a nice, like, genuinely is a nice guy. But when they have this, and it doesn't pay him in the greatest of light when there's always that coercion or manipulative, controlling nature when it comes to sex. Yeah. Like, that's where the red flag with Calvin comes in. But as you stated, I'm not going to lie. I did not miss him at all.
Yeah, me either.
He was gone. I'm like, me either. Okay. So there's leaving him to come back. I love you, Anthony.
Yes.
Calvin.
Yes.
No.
Exactly that. Now, this person, I guess, kind of toes the line between antagonist and ally because she flip-flopped this season. And that's Paige down at the bank. I see a lot of potential for Paige. Not that she needs a ton more minutes, but I did appreciate the journey that they took us on with this character. And in her conversations with Sabrina, I love them having her differentiate herself from being a bigot to just being a jealous hoe. Because we can work with a jealous hoe. We can't work with a racist. We can't work with a bigot. And when that little white woman came in there showing her bigoted ass, Paige said absolutely not. Not on my watch.
Literally.
I love that. And it created a brilliant conversation about implicit bias and racism in that regard. And then we really, again, got to see that this whole time, which I was chalking it up because she is a white woman, acting crazy as if Sabrina don't deserve the things that she have damn earned. It was racism when at the end of the day, it was just a mediocre ass white woman with no real coping skills for handling her damn insecurities, manifested in a way of, I want what you have without working to get what you have. So I'm going to try to make your life a living hell. It remind me of Remick in Sinners when Smoke said, y'all clan, and he said, sir. Like, I'm trying to kill you, but I ain't no damn racist.
He was offended. He was super offended the fact that you think that we are part of the dang on clan.
That is
That is not who we
Paige.
are.
That is Paige. I'm jealous. I'm insecure, but I ain't no damn racist.
I ain't no racist. Baby, I came here to suck the life out of you and give you an opportunity at everlasting life. But a racist? How dare you? How dare you? Baby, that was hilarious.
How you feel about Paige?
I like Paige. I think I don't know in the beginning if I viewed her as racist. I think that Paige came from a place where her and Sabrina were up for the same position, and she didn't get it. And also, Maurice lied on this woman about getting back shots in the back of the parking lot of the bank.
Yeah.
So I think that one, I do believe she probably felt that she was the better candidate. Two, she had been lied. I don't know why that's tickling me so much. She had been lied on about Maurice, so I think that was one of the reasons why she couldn't stand him, is because she knew that he was the person that made that lie up about her having sex in the back of this darn parking lot of this bank.
But see, my problem is, Allie, she had no problem leaning into the lie that Sabrina helped rob the bank and trying to play off of it. So that's also why I ain't had no sympathy when it was, oh, she was getting back shots. I said, oh, when the lie was Sabrina, it was fine. But now the lie is you and we feel bad? Hell, at least she was only getting back shots. What Sabrina was accused of was a felony. You just will be accused of being a freak. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You be fine.
That was her. They both was lied on. And Sabrina, to me, Sabrina already had the experience, and that's something that she had an upper hand on Paige, because Paige didn't have that. And I think that Paige just did not know how to regulate her emotions, and it came out in very unhealthy ways. So let me say that.
Yeah.
And so you could definitely perceive that, are you racist? What? Because that's how it was given. Because you're around Sabrina and Maurice, they're black, and you have such a disdain for them both. What's really the core reason for that? Yep. And the way that they had, the situation with Paige standing up for Maurice and finding out that it's her brother that's gay, I believe, as well. And having the conversation that Paige had with Sabrina just shifted everything for me. Because for one,
same.
The fact that Paige, the character of Paige, has not been on this show long, and we were able to experience a vulnerable moment with her that really came out of nowhere, but it was really, she saw Sabrina in a certain light. How can I be of service to you? How can I assist you? Yep. And the fact that she created a space. Now, Sabrina was tripping at first. You don't just walk in, help, your door was open. the door wasn't closed.
You barely ever in your office. You was in the conference room and the door's wide open, Sabrina.
I was like, sis, pipe down. Pipe down. And her creating that atmosphere allowed Sabrina to open up. And we found out about her cousin and infertility and things of that nature, and it was such a beautiful moment. And I was like, I cannot believe I am here for this friendship, or whatever whatever is happening with Paige and Sabrina. I'm here for it. I actually want to see more of it, because in the sister circle, Sabrina doesn't have that voice that I heard on that particular episode. She may be able to speak to Karen offside, by themselves, but collectively, the fact that she was just able to open up and share, and Paige let her know that I'm here for you, I understand what that's about, and then even to let Sabrina know, like, I am from the country, but I ain't no bigot. I ain't racist. I do have certain views, but I'm not that. And so it was I really adored that moment between them.
Same. She quickly became a factor when I was like, this is a non-factor. And I think that her being a white woman in that corporate space with Sabrina is so very important, because I think that speaks to the very real experiences for Black women currently navigating corporate spaces like that. And if she's not going to be the one, if she's going to switch, right, because she was the antagonist in there and now she switched, now she becomes the model for what it could be like, the synergy that could happen, how, Paige could actually elevate now that she is working with Sabrina, and Sabrina can invest in her and like, okay, you should be next up. If I need an assistant bank manager, Paige is probably going to be the one up for it. But it also, to me, even thinking about that as an idea, then it's like you're gonna nominate Paige over me, and I've been your best friend, and that creates a little thing for them at the bank with Maurice, and all of that additional story gets to happen. So while we haven't seen a ton of Paige, like you said, the shifts that she had this season were so impactful that her potential needs to really be explored and expanded upon, because again, all of these people that we have spoken about thus far, but specifically her in this moment, if she is expanded upon, then the story that's happening on SISTAS expands as well in such a beautiful way.
Yeah. And it's just so amazing how one character can shift the dynamic of so many characters. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe that we even sought out to present it in that way with
No.
this particular video, but it's so interesting that it went that way, that every character that we have discussed, we have
Yeah.
talked about how just a little shift here, or if it goes this way, how it expands and opens the story out in such a marvelous way. And that has been beautiful because, y'all, we did not, that
At
was not a
all.
part of the plan.
We just had a
Mm-mm.
list of supporting characters that we would want to see more from, but we didn't even unpack what that would look like. We try to, like, we have like questions basically that we come to the table with, and then we answer them on live with y'all. So this has been brilliant. I really enjoy recording this episode because I think I love getting in my bag of like coming up with stories, and honestly, I put myself in a place when you like ask me certain questions, or when I'm trying to add additional layers and say how it could work, I put myself like, if I was in the writer's room, what would I be pitching right now? And then I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
pitch it to y'all.
Yeah. Beautiful pictures.
Oh, thank you, friend.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you,
Absolutely.
thank you. Um, it's also not clear in the Sisters universe right now why, like, the people who get screen time, why they get screen time. So if for nothing else, maybe we don't see these people expand the way that we talked about. I would love to see a clearer direction in reference to the stories that we are being told, and like I would want the stories to be displayed in time to their importance in reference to the story. So the most in-depth nuanced stories need to get the most time, and the ones that don't, and it's just these certain people on screen, needs to get the least, because it's also very not clear what is the central storyline of SISTAS. When we first started, it was Andy, Gary, her potential life blowing up because she's in love with a married man, and that married man's wife is now wants to be a client. Right behind her, Karen is struggling with a F boy down at the clinic. Them two trying to support each other, and then of course it's about the four of them, but those two were the tent poles. Now it's just like a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
things happening. Zach and Fatima get most of the damn minutes, but they asses ain't doing nothing. Andy got less, but also she ain't really doing much. Karen gets none, but there's so much happening. She's pregnant with goddamn twins by two different men running two different businesses, and decided to go ahead and give her heart to the man that she was struggling with for the last however many long, and she gets literally 3 minutes an episode. Like, y'all gonna have to get a little bit clearer and divvy up the minutes based on the story strength for me.
And I want to second everything that Erica Vane just stated, because she is not lying on them 3 minutes. Because baby, there were and maybe it's the pettiness side of me. I literally watch to see how long they are on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, at the most, we get 3 minutes from them, and that is the combined. And don't give them 3 minutes in the first opening. We don't see them again.
At all.
Don't give them 3 minutes right off the bat. We not seeing them again to the next episode, if that. So I agree with what you said. The major stories, the A and B stories, those need to be the ones that get the most minutes. The way that they have provided minutes for Fatima and Zach in season 8, as a viewer, pissed me off because it wasn't deserving. It wasn't deserving for, forget them as the Val and Crystal. It wasn't deserving for Fatima and Zach.
Yeah.
They literally did nothing. Zach did nothing but stare at a board, and we saw him every day. Excuse me,
Every
every Wednesday.
single
We
episode.
saw him every episode. Aaron around here, we may have seen him out of the 22 episodes. He
5.
may have been in literally. Y'all got to do better.
Yeah.
It is honestly it really is a plea, and I don't even think it's much to ask for because, as you stated, there is so much going on. I don't even know the story that's trying to be told anymore.
Yeah.
What are y'all trying to say when you laid it out with what's happening with Karen? To me, that should be story A. This woman is pregnant with twins, two different baby daddies. She got two businesses to run. She in cahoots with Pam. Now Maurice is a part of that equation. She got a lot going on.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot going on. Everybody, Andy, who cares? Who you boning? That's like her
That
tagline.
is it.
Andy,
Who
who
you
gonna bone me?
boning? It's a good.
Because it's gonna be somebody. And it's like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Honestly, Danny, Tony, you gonna take the job in Alaska? Probably not. You gonna marry Danny? Probably hell no. What is happening? Sabrina, when it comes to Rich, girl, you bet not take him back.
Y'all, I feel like she is, and I don't want to spend all next season call Sabrina dumb as hell, but I will. I will do it. I will do that.
Oh God, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I can't. I don't want to say it. Mm-mm.
Child.
No, no, I can't. Ooh, I've never caught my man cheating or nothing like that. Erica, I would probably be on. I would be on the news because I mean, according to you, he cheated, but I don't know how I would respond to see something like that in my
Me
face.
either. Me either.
You can't even. You can't touch me. You can't. No. No.
I-
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
But I ain't getting my hopes up, child. Y'all, we have just unpacked some of the supporting characters and how they have been unsung heroes, underutilized antagonists. Just to recap real quick, there were so many things that could have been and maybe can still be, depending on how y'all feeling over there, writers. But Aaron, we need to see him as a consistent masculine counterpoint to all the problematic male characters. Maurice, we need to see some more meaningful queer storylines. He's in a healthy relationship right now with Grayson. Let's see that play out. Let's see that be the juxtaposition to all the other sisters' toxic relationships, except for Karen, maybe now because, she has Aaron. Hayden, we need additional complex motivations and agency. If he's gonna be the villain, then let him be the villain and let it be coming from somewhere real and him trying to be expressing something, because all of the best villains are doing it for a reason. They believe their causes to be noble. Look at the Joker. Look at Killmonger. Look at Thanos. Hell, at this point, in our real lives, some of us are walking around like maybe Thanos is right. 50% of you should not be here. I'm one of those. And Paige and Sabrina developing a meaningful cross-cultural relationship, friendship could be monumental for expanding just the conversation being had on sisters as a whole. If y'all enjoyed this episode of Our Sister's Keeper, please hit that like button. Please be sure to go over and check Allie out on her channel at Allie Nick Official. Anything you want to add before we get out of here, Allie?
Just thank y'all for rocking with us during this hiatus of sisters, and I was gonna say I am looking forward to spending season 9 with you guys. I had to watch how I said that. Looking forward to spending season 9 with you guys. For those who don't know, 'cause a lot of people are asking me. Yes, Sisters has been renewed for season 10. If they're not filming already, they are about to start filming season 10. No, they're not going anywhere. They will be back. So just to let you guys know. Yeah, come over to my channel, have a good time, listen to House of Pain. I'm starting to do that again, and I am enjoying it, and it is a breath of fresh air in the House of Pain streets for me. This past episode I laughed so much. Lance Gross was in his bag,
I
and I'm
love
just happy to
that.
actually yeah, I'm just actually to have happy to love seeing us on television, just having a good time and bringing laughter back into the households again. So that has done my heart great joy. So Thank you guys for continuing to rock with us as long as y'all been rocking with us. I appreciate it.
Yes. We appreciate y'all so very much. We're going to be back again next week, of course, for another episode of Our Sister's Keeper. I believe next week we are actually, I'm out of sorts. I'm out of sorts. Check the channel because I have it uploaded now so you can see what's coming next. And I don't want to tell y'all and then to be something else, but we got a nice little spread laid out until July. The content's going to keep coming. Keep checking in with us. Keep locking in with us on Wednesday nights. If you're catching this on replay, still post your comments because we do read the comments, and we're going to see you in the next one. Bye.
Good night, y'all.